standings, you're sixth all along. You have a chance to get to 500 Sunday. I mean, do you look at that at all and kind of see the progress you guys have made from last year, especially Tariq because we were here last year?
Yeah. Getting to 500 would be good. I mean, last year we won one game in the conference, so being 500 would be a big step. I mean, it's something that we can definitely do. Xavier coming in is a good team, and you know, I think it is really good to get to 500 though, especially at this point in the season.
Do you feel, I guess for you, do you guys feel like you are making progress? You know, the non-conference, I'm sure there were games you felt you should have won, but now you're in the Big East, one of the best conferences in the league, and you're in the middle of the conference. You know, you were picked to finish near the bottom, and here you are in sixth place and beating some good teams.
I say, like throughout the season, like we just come together as a team. Like, cause there have been some games like we was all individual, but now as we come together, the wins start coming more.
What are some of the things for both of you gentlemen that you're expecting from Xavier? What type of game are you thinking they're going to play against you, and what have you been doing to get ready for this game coming?
I believe they're gonna try to play the same way as we played them at their house. Like they just trying to be up and down fast and like just get us off balance and like just like push the tempo.
Shamorie, after the season ball game, I saw you were kind of upset. You obviously didn't play as well as I'm sure you would have liked. Did you talk to anyone specifically after that game? You could have been struggling the last few games, and I noticed you obviously played much better against Providence. Is anyone specific you talked to?
Not really. I was just doing a lot of time to myself, just thinking about all of it, thinking back, thinking how I could get better, thinking how I could get better, and like just moving forward.
I saw you posted like a thing from high school. Did you watch like high school tape to kind of help you with your confidence?
No, it was just something I was doing at the time, like, and it popped up on YouTube, so I just said, why not?
Is it? I mean, for some, I've asked you that before. But for someone who's you're used to winning a lot, what's it been like to kind of go through the ups and downs of this year?
I mean, it's tough, like, cause I was coming from a winning program. We didn't really have losing streaks, so like it's hard for me dealing with losing games constantly back to back to back. So like just getting used to that, like it's just like making me a better person.
You and Marcus, an all freshman backcourt. People have kind of, you guys have obviously had very good years. You ever watch Kentucky's backcourt? You guys are probably right there with them as the best freshman backcourt in the country. You ever watch them play?
Oh yeah, I watch their games. What's up? Yeah, I watch their games.
How do you think you and Marcus stack up against those two guys?
I mean they're a good backcourt, but I also think we good and we can compete with them.
What is the challenge of two freshmen? Two freshmen in the backcourt. What do you think the challenge is? What do you think makes that so difficult?
I mean, when we freshmen, we young. We ain't experienced the other sophomores, juniors, and seniors we gotta play against. So it's just like adjusting.
Tariq, are you still? I mean, do you ever think what these guys could be like when they're older? I mean, you see what Shamorie and Marcus are doing as freshmen.
Yeah, well, right now, I mean, they're playing great. They complement each other well. They do a lot for our team. So, thinking down in the future for years to come, it is kind of scary. Like, oh yeah, what can these two really be, especially being together?
What stands out to you about them? Watching, especially when they have games like Wednesday where they're both on. Kind of what stands out about what they're able to do for your team?
Really, the fact that they don't shy away from the limelight. I mean, they both had it going, and they both never back down. You see, Slick he stays calm, cool throughout the game, and he just plays his game. He stays within himself and does what he does. And Marcus, he brings an edge to our team. The aggressiveness, the attitude, the mindset. So having both of them is really good.
For either one of you guys, do you look at Wednesday was obviously a really good win on the road. Do you look at Sunday as, what do you see as the significance of Sunday? You're playing a top 25 team, and you're playing as a team that kind of beat you up last time, and like you said, it's a chance to further climb up the standings in the league and get to 500. What do you see as the significance of Sunday?
Sunday, it's another conference game. We can't really look at it as any more or any less. I mean, it's just as important as the games that we're going to play after it. So we're going to prepare for this game like it's another game. Last time we played them, they did beat us up a little bit. So we got to mentally prepare ourselves for that. They're going to come out, try to be physical, try to run us. So that's what we're going to use these next few days to prepare and get ready for Sunday.
Tariq, you guys have had a big crowd, especially here lately, with the Butler win, the DePaul win. Can you talk about that atmosphere and what they bring and what you expect on Sunday?
The atmosphere of those games is just great. It's good to always have the crowd in it, especially it brings another level of intensity. We can bring the energy, we can bring the intensity on the court, but when you have the fan base behind you, when you have a packed house, when you have the fans going crazy, it creates a different type of environment that the other team can feel. So having a good crowd for this game is going to be really important. When we played them at their house, they had a really packed house, and you can feel that. So every home game is you should feel the advantage of having your crowd behind you, having the city behind you.
What do you, the non-conference didn't go, I'm sure, nearly as well as you guys would have liked. You lost to some teams that you're clearly better than. Why do you think you guys have played much better in the league than you did for the most part of the non-conference?
Well, I say we handled the losses well. We just prepping. We just from moving on. We just knew not to take any team. Even if it was Delaware State,
Right.
LIU, Brooklyn, ODU. We just learned not to play down to level of competition. So we just learned how to keep our foot on people's necks the whole game.
Tariq, can you just take us through those last two defensive possessions against Providence? I'm sure no one had heard it from your point of view, just that one where you had the two-handed stuff and then kind of Darian's defensive play on that last Providence possession.
Before those possessions, we had came out of a little timeout, and the big thing was we needed to get a stop. Everybody, we all came together, and we all knew that we needed that stop. So on the backside, they had a guy penetrate, and he dished it off, and me and D-Will both stepped over. D-Will got to him first, and then I just went up top and tied him up, and then D-Will had got the it was a steal, I believe, a loose ball which sealed the game, and then there was another play where Vet dove out of bounds, threw the ball back, Slick got it, they had to foul him. So those are all just winning plays from the team's effort, everybody collectively buying in and doing all they can to get the win.
Sure, going back to Wednesday as well. Watching the game, it definitely looked like the most comfortable you felt on the court in the past few games. Is that something you'd agree with? Did you feel, was your confidence higher than it's been at any point in the last few weeks?
Oh yeah, my confidence is pretty much high now. Having to sit down with my coaches and just talking, think about what we can do this year, just bringing my confidence back up from the beginning of the year. It just feel much better out there now.
You guys have had games like that where you started really well, and then you lose the lead, and then you aren't able to win. Wednesday was different. Why do you think that was, and can you sense that, and you see that win as almost a breakthrough win?
I think that's just going through the season and going through those other games. Other games we've seen how we came out strong, lost the lead, and weren't able to pull the game out. It's just growing experience. We have a really young team. Like you said, we have 2 freshmen in our backcourt. We have young guys up front. So it's just experience and being together, growing together.
Do you see that in the second half? And you guys were down 6 or 8, and Marcus and Shamorie started making plays, almost kind of like where in past games you might have been all right, kind of faded away, but it almost seemed like there was like a different determination that you guys had Wednesday.
Yeah, road game. It was a really intense game, and we just as a team were bought in. Everybody wanted to win. We wanted to do everything we could. So with them coming down the stretch and then making plays and going down on defensive end, everybody being bought in, that's what happens. So as we go on, we just learning together and growing together.
Would you say that, I mean, Butler was a big win, obviously, here, and it was a ranked team, but I mean, the feeling you guys got after that game, I saw kind of celebration on the court. Did that feel like the best win of the year?
Yeah, it was a really good win, really good team win. Because everybody was really bought in and we stuck together in a harsh environment. Providence, their crowd really brung it. Fans were into it. Their team was into it. So just to be able to stick through that storm together and everybody just come together, coaches, everybody, feels really good.